This is a 5 on your side local news update.
2:23 Weather First meteorologist Gary Frank with an update on a pretty nice day. This is a typical day that we would experience in February as we're warming up a little bit. The last couple of mornings, they've been colder, but a lot of sunshine at least feels better. But the last couple of days, still an anomaly after days ago when we had record-setting temperatures 2 days in a row. It feels nothing like that outside, but we do see those high, thin, wispy cirrus clouds from Weldon Spring to Cuba into Highland. Doesn't matter where you look right now. It's quiet. Things are starting to green up despite the colder mornings the last couple of days. Overall, though, it's still going to be a pleasant day. And I think as you look outside, temperatures have warmed up into the 50s for the most part. 51 O'Fallon, Missouri, 50 in Cahokia Heights, 47 in Millstadt, 49 in Mascoutah. So overall, temperatures holding steady. Still warming up a couple of degrees between now and about 4:15, but then we're going to start to tumble a little bit. We're not going to drop all that much. I think into this evening, temperatures still in the low 40s by 9 o'clock. Clouds are going to increase, though. Despite it being dry outside, one of the things that we look at specifically is the fact that, there are some areas right along the interstates that you're looking at. There's some pretty decent rain and snow, and I think that's what we have to look at here. I think overall, because, even as we just kind of zoom in just a little bit, I want to take a look at some of this because I think overall, it's more this area than anything that we're starting to see some of that rain and snow mix. And so that's what we'll look at here. This is the system that's headed our way to some degree. Now, it doesn't look like much here as I kind of pan out just a little bit. But, I think overall what we're going to continue to see here is as this system works its way to the north, let's call it on 44 because that's a good spot to follow it from Oklahoma City into Tulsa. Watch how this loops this whole area where we're cooler. We've started off dry despite some frost this morning. We're going to follow this storm up 44, and what it's going to do, I think, is really lose some of its luster here, I think, overall. So it's going to run into some drier air as it works its way into 44. So it's going to break apart a little bit. This is not a big rain and snowstorm for us, but I think what we're going to see a lot of this look like is temperatures staying just above freezing for the most part into the overnight hours. Let's start at 3:30 because hopefully it's before you're awake, but as you get closer to being awake, I think you're going to see a mix of rain and snow. It's very, very light, but it's something to note when you go out the door and you see rain and snow. Don't think, oh goodness, this is really going to slow me down, cause a lot of issues. I don't see that. This is you're going to flip your windshield wipers on type of thing because really overall, obviously the ground temp's pretty warm despite a couple days in a row where it was colder. But I think overall this is just going to be, maybe the roads are a little wet. That's about it. This is out of here pretty quickly on Friday, and I think the rest of the day is pretty nice overall. So we'll start off with that hit and miss opportunity as that storm runs into some drier air, but we'll start to work our way back up into the mid-40s and even low to mid-50s by tomorrow afternoon. I think it's going to be at least something to look at. Temperatures are warming up a little bit tomorrow, but the big thing is where's the overall pattern concerned? Because we've talked about how warm it was. We had 2 straight days of records before 60 degrees colder just 24 hours later. Now, this is what we'll look at here over the next couple of days because I think overall we're going to start to see things warm up again. We start to tap into some of that warmer air to the south and southwest, and that's going to help us see another near spike of about 80 degrees, and then we'll tap into some cooler air by the tail end of the weekend, at least. That's our next opportunity as we see our next system that dives down. But overall, the main pattern sets all the major storm systems like we had are going to kind of avoid us here for the short term. I don't really think they're going to impact us for a while. And so as a result, we'll see these smaller opportunities for rain, but really no opportunities for severe weather throughout the Midwest or our region or things of that nature. One thing that we'll talk about once again is our average is about 50 degrees. We'll see those numbers way above that here over the next few with temperatures nearly 30 degrees above normal. And as I talked about, that's where we're going to see much above average readings. So for the next few days, as we continue to work our way into the low 70s here for tomorrow, we've got temps at 80 degrees on Sunday. It is much, much warmer. So overall, it's a dry weekend, warmer conditions, and then we'll start to see maybe slightly cooler air. This is still above average, but our next chance for storms Monday into Tuesday, and that's going to bring our temperatures back down a little bit. So it's going to feel maybe a little bit more like spring. As we start off the month of March, you'll start to see warmer mornings as well.